Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards, episode 73. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
73?
Yeah, we're almost equal to the president's age.
We're almost legit. No, that's like 10 more episodes.
I know, we're getting close, though. I mean,
10 more episodes.
we're closer now than we were 53 episodes ago.
The IRS can't even come after us. We're not getting paid a penny an episode anymore.
Yeah, Spotify took it away.
Well,
Spotify hates us. NASCAR hates us. SMI hates us. Everybody wants to hate on us, man.
they want to control the narrative.
The corporate man absolutely hates this podcast. The man.
NASCAR hates us.
They're corporate. NASCAR's corporate. They hate us because they can't control. You know what?
They can't call us to the trailer because they won't give us press pass.
That's why they hate us.
Because they don't believe in podcast. Because they're stuck in 1980.
They want zero podcast. You know what? My buddy Matt used to say, they hate us because they ain't us.
They are an anus. What do you mean, ain't us?
Ain't us. That's what I said.
Ain't sound like anus.
Ain't us. That's how we say it in the South. Ain't us. That's up north.
Well, I think our podcast is the butthole of NASCAR.
According to NASCAR, they think it is. I mean,
and SMI.
SMI. Well, except we can't throw all of SMI under the bus. Just Atlanta, Bristol, Texas, North Wilkesboro.
Do you think it's Marcus approving us for Charlotte, and it's the local presidents of the racetracks saying no?
Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because we're approved for Charlotte. We can request media passes at Charlotte.
You live in the shadow of the backstretch of Atlanta Motor Speedway, though.
I mean,
and I'm 30 minutes south.
Like I said, NASCAR, we were notified that NASCAR was pulling away from allowing media passes to podcast or weekly series, like social media series, things like that, unless you're affiliated. And we're not affiliated, and we talk way too much crap to be affiliated. I mean, I'm not going to change my opinion just to be affiliated to get press passes, you know? I mean, I'm going to be me. And you're going to be you, and we're 100% real and give you our 100% true, honest opinion every week.
Even the Sirius channel's owned by NASCAR, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Dave Moody is 1,000% owned by NASCAR.
He's a NASCAR bitch.
If you don't like Dave Moody's opinion, he will block you on every social media platform available and degrade you and talk crap about you. I'm not.
But he's still NASCAR's bitch. Just saying.
I mean, NASCAR and SMI co-own Sirius XM Radio. Basically. With PRN. Everybody on there is PRN, MRN. And then you got Stacking Pennies.
Little teeny berry from
Stacking Pennies is a NASCAR-owned podcast. Then you got the Dell Jr. Download. In a sense, is NASCAR owned if you think about it, because they're not that far removed.
Dell Jr. works every week, so Dell Jr. has control them.
That's what I mean. Dell Jr. has a car that races. Has 4 cars on Saturday, and he's in the booth on Sunday. So, in a sense, he's affiliated. But I don't hate any of those guys. I don't even hate NASCAR. I mean, I don't love it right now. It's not a great product that they're putting out.
Maybe that's why they don't want us at their tracks.
Because they don't want us to be honest.
They'd rather us watch it on TV. But, you know, I've been recording TV so that I can not watch the BS.
Well, this is episode 73, and this week's show is going to go out to Deb. Deb, we greatly appreciate you.
Thank you, Deb.
Thanks for listening, and we're going to do this one in memory of your grandmother. So thanks for listening every week. We greatly appreciate you, and we love you. Thank you. So let's jump into it, Jamie, shall we?
Let's do it.
What did you do over the weekend? Let's jump into that.
I drove my car around real fast.
Let's talk about the car you drove around. Can we?
A GTR 3 911 2023.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's not mine.
I told him to make shorts. Like, it's not every day you get to drive one.
I'm not very shorty, or I don't even take pictures of myself.
You're of that generation. Your generation went to concerts and watched them with their eyes, not their phone.
Right.
I saw a picture.
We had cigarette lighters.
I saw a picture that Metallica put out, that James Hetfield, or one of the guys in Metallica, took a picture of the crowd back in like the 80s. They had a picture from the stage of the crowd. Then
Well,
they
there was
showed
smoking in that.
Well, then they showed a picture of the crowd in 2023. And in the 80s, everybody had their fingers up, devil horns, middle fingers, smoking cigarettes, partying it up.
Things.
Then you look at 2023, and literally everybody has a phone in their hand, holding it up, looking at the screen of the phone, watching the concert through the screen of their phone. I'm guilty. I've taken a lot of video at concerts, but I don't know. It really hit home. It really made me think, like, are you in the moment enjoying the concert, or are you too worried about getting the perfect shot on the video to share with your friends where you actually miss being in the moment? We're going.
Why I don't even take, my wife probably took a lot of pictures of our kids growing up.
Yeah, my wife.
But that's it.
My wife would have been the one taking most of the pictures of our kids as well.
But I learned that the $300,000 car, my crappy 20-year-old Porsche, handles better and is more of a joy to drive.
Is that because it's
not mid-engine? Well, it's mid-engine instead of rear engine, so it's more balanced. Plus, when you're driving a car that's worth about $15,000 to $20,000. And then you're driving a car that costs more than your house.
You don't stress out as much.
Well, I'm not revving it to 7,000 RPMs because it costs more than my house. And, a squirrel looked at me cross-eyed, and I'm like, oh!
Slowing down?
This isn't mine!
So you drove that and your Porsche. So you got to drive both the Porsches this weekend then.
Well, I don't know.
His and yours. Yeah.
So... yeah, I would never spend that kind of money. I love the car manufacturer. As you know, I'm
cheap,
inexpensive.
Inexpensive.
I'm inexpensive. That's what I'm going to go with.
Inexpensive. That's too many syllables. Cheap's just. That's easy, man.
Cheap means
cheap.
No, I'm frugal.
Frugal.
That's a better term.
That's still a big word. I mean, frugal. I don't know if I can remember that one.
It rhymes with froggle.
I can't remember Fraggle, like Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock. All right, let's jump into some stories. You want to talk about some stories here?
Stories about people from all over the country, except not from Georgia, because we might know them.
We might be
related to them.
We might be related. It might be one of our cousins.
We would hate for them to listen to this and get angry.
They'd be mad, man. I think they'd be real mad.
Uninvite us to the family reunion.
No more Thanksgiving. All right, so we're going to start with the great state of Alabama. An Alabama man was arrested on drug possession and third-degree burglary charges after police said they found him naked in a stranger's home. I mean, it happens, right?
Well, Iron Man did that when he had drug problems. Robert Downey Jr., remember? Went to the neighbor's house and slept in his neighbor's child's bedroom.
Naked?
High. Was drunk.
Was he naked?
I don't know if he was naked.
Was the child in there with him?
Yes.
Okay, that's weird.
The child woke up and got his parents and said, hey, there's a man in my room.
Iron Man's in my bed, Bob.
It was before Iron Man. I think he's way straightened out now.
Oh, okay. It
was like the 90s where he was getting all those issues.
I don't remember what movies he was in back then, though.
I don't either. Well, no, he was like, he was big time.
He was Sherlock Holmes. But that would have
Iron Man kind of brought his career back.
Yeah.
And he was off drugs or alcohol or whatever he was doing. I think he's a pretty decent guy now.
I don't remember that.
Well, you could Google it, but we have a no phone policy during recording.
We don't need to Google it. So, this dude's naked in a stranger's home, right? So, police said the victim, the homeowner, came home for the first time in about 2 weeks, been away on business, and found the man sitting naked in his living room. So, the man takes off, obviously turns around, runs out, calls 911. I guess he's lucky.
That makes sense.
I think if I walked in to my house that was supposed to be empty and saw a man I didn't know sitting there naked eating Cheetos, I'm probably shooting.
Yeah, I would.
Isn't that breaking and entering?
Well, it is a crime to leave Cheeto cheese just laying around.
Well,
you got to wash it off your fingers, or some people actually suck the cheese off their finger. Are you a cheese sucker or are you a cheese eater?
I don't know.
Do you wash in the sink?
I'm not a Cheeto fan, so.
Do you like the puffs or the crunch?
I like the puffs when I did like
See,
Cheetos.
I'm a crunchy Cheetos.
No, I don't like the
I
crunchy.
can't eat them now. They make me sick.
Well, on the Cannonball Run, when we became Cannonball Run champions earlier this year, you had both puffs and hard Cheetos, and I preferred the puffs over the hard Cheetos.
I'm still can't get all that cheese.
I like. Have you tried the Built bars that Corey LaJoy sponsors? They're protein bars.
Him.
Well, they sponsor him.
Now I eat nuts. Lynn's nuts
Lynn's nuts.
for my protein.
So I get these protein bars. They're called Built bars, but they have a puff bar. It's a puff Built bar. Dude, they're phenomenal. They're really for a protein bar. They taste really good.
How much are they?
They're expensive.
Yeah, peanuts are cheaper from Lynn's nuts.
Well, you're so frugal. You'll just stick with a nut.
Lynn's nuts will sell me bulk nuts.
They will. So police said when they got back to this dude's house, the naked man was sitting there in the recliner, stoned out of his mind on Xanax pills. The man told police that he had been staying there for a few weeks now because, well, like he says, he needed a place to stay, Jamie.
I guess they didn't have an alarm?
No, we don't have an alarm. Do you have an alarm?
Yes.
I do too. It's Smith & Wesson.
No, that is after the alarm.
Dog barks, then we shoot.
Mine's a Colt. That's post alarm.
Post alarm, like Post
The
Malone.
new rap singer, post alarm.
Post alarm.
He's the guy you find dead in your living room because you shot him.
The post alarm. So police told the man he couldn't stay there because
It wasn't his. Oh, hello there.
So
Well, he probably graduated from University of Alabama.
That sounds like an Auburn grad.
You think?
Yeah.
Are they dumber?
Yes.
Wow, really?
I don't know. Actually, I think
Oh, we got a good friend that went to Auburn. Be careful. He listens.
I actually think that Auburn. They're
I
not better.
think
They're
Auburn
not
are
better
smarter.
in football. Yeah, they're not better in football, but an Auburn grad or an Auburn student's probably smarter than an Alabama student. Alabama wastes so much money on football. There's not a lot of money spent on education.
Well, I mean, people graduate from Alabama football unable to read.
Barely.
I mean, they stop because they recognize the shape and it's red.
Stop.
Oh, it's a stop sign.
That's a SOT.
Stop.
That says SOTP. That's stop.
That's why most
Why are we stopping at the stoop sign, man?
That's why most football players, and there's positions that require high intelligence and memorizing plays.
Yeah.
There's some that
Quarterbacks.
don't. Yeah. Quarterback,
Linebackers.
center is a very smart player.
Well, you got to be able to count.
Linebacker's got to know whether he's going to rush the quarterback or drop back.
But your linemen just have to block.
Yeah.
They could do that stoned.
Well, I think your offensive linemen are highly intelligent. It's the defensive linemen that are just
I think they start highly intelligent.
football.
I think they start out highly intelligent, but after 4 or 5 years of hard hits to the head, I think that intelligence level slowly dwindles down.
Well, there was this great player for the Washington Redskins. Yes, I said Redskins. He never played for the Commodores.
Or the Canadians.
Yeah. Dexter Manley
Okay.
could not read. Smoked crack.
Now,
Couldn't
Are
read.
we talking about the NBA here?
I don't know where he went to college. Someone Google it. Put it in the notes down here.
We're over there.
Or over here. And don't forget to click and subscribe because we're on our way to 1 million subscribers. Like it.
Every day is one step closer.
Yeah, every day. But anyway, he was just a dumpster fire of a man.
Yeah.
But he played football. Maybe he went to Alabama. I don't know.
Probably remember the wrestler New Jack?
Yes.
Yeah, a dumpster fire of a wrestler.
Yeah.
So similar to that.
So Dexter, after he had a fantastic career, you didn't want to be a quarterback when he's coming after you. But after that, just life got him, ate him up, spit him out.
I think that happens to a lot of football players or sports athletes in general because a lot of them come from hard lives.
Someone once compared him to having the intelligence of a grapefruit.
Dexter?
Yeah, Dexter Manley. But he was one of my childhood heroes when I was like 3rd grade because I figured, what school's worthless.
I like Sting. That was, Sting.
Oh, the wrestler, not
wrestler.
the singer?
Yeah. I liked him. He was probably my first childhood hero would have probably been Sting. The Stinger Splash. And I'm talking like red, green, yellow face paint Sting, not the Crow.
Oh, I was into Ric Flair.
I like Ric Flair. I've got his autograph too, but I didn't hang it on the wall. It's actually in a case in the house.
Nice.
Yeah, I got his in the house. I got Davey Allison, something signed by him in the house. Some Earnhardt stuff.
Davey
signed.
Allison wrestled too?
Yeah, you don't remember
I
that?
didn't know that.
Yeah, the Alabama gang was a wrestling gang.
What? That makes sense.
I mean, they got into a fight at Daytona.
Phoenix City used to be
Their
big.
first fight was in Daytona
Makes
during
sense.
the 500. The Allison brothers, and it got down there and turn. What was that? Turn 3, turn 4. When
Kale Yarborough.
in the wet mud.
Yarborough, but Yarborough.
Yarbar. All right. A Florida woman fulfills her childhood dream of becoming a stripper just like her mom.
I think that happens every day in Florida.
This is
Are the strippers better looking than the locals?
This is a local.
I've never been to a strip club in Florida.
So this is a legit news story. You can find this online if you're Google checking us. But a Florida woman fulfills her childhood dream of becoming a stripper just like her mom. When this Florida woman was just 14 years old, her mom, a former exotic dancer, gave her some of her old costumes to try on. That's when this Florida woman knew she wanted to follow in mom's footsteps and carry on the family business.
That's weird.
14! At 14,
But
her ambitions in life were to become a stripper.
You hear, little Joey Logano at 14 wanted to be a race car driver.
I mean,
his daddy moved down to Atlanta where they race legends.
Charlotte.
Oh, Atlanta. I heard them in on a podcast.
I thought they moved to Charlotte, and that's why
they went to Charlotte afterwards.
Oh, they moved to Georgia, really?
Yeah, he was living in the condos at Atlanta Motor Speedway for a while.
That's cool. I didn't know that. So MSN interviewed this woman.
Were they affiliated with NASCAR?
No.
Is that MusCar Network?
No, that's
MSN.
No,
it is MSN. MSN.
It's a government agency.
Miss Nancy.
It's a government agency, probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She told MSN that when she turned 20 years old, she bought a pole, a pair of pleaser heels.
What are pleaser heels?
And 2 dancer outfits.
Oh, I so want to Google a pleaser heel. I don't know what they are.
After practicing for 2 days straight, she auditioned at the club.
Dude, I thought it took more skill than 2 days of practicing.
Her audition became her first night's work, where she took home $300.
That's good money.
Pleaser heels are probably the heels that strippers wear, if I had to guess.
I haven't been, probably less than one hand that I've been to a strip club. Less than one hand? That makes no sense. Fingers? Less than 5 fingers.
Less than 5 times.
That I've been to a strip club?
I'll translate for you. Don't worry.
First of all, I can't remember any of the women dancing. Second of all, I have no clue if they're wearing shoes or not. Maybe you have to be a regular to notice these things.
Or a connoisseur. Like a strip club connoisseur.
Well, it is kind of art, isn't it? You got to dance.
You're really stretching it.
To extract the art is taking money from the people watching you, right?
That's not really an art, in my opinion. I mean, come on, it's no secret to a woman if she wants for a wife. If she really wants to get something from her husband, it ain't that hard to figure out how to get it.
Yeah, but she don't have to go buy a pole for your house.
No, what I'm saying is,
and
this girl,
pleaser heels.
This 20-year-old knows she don't want to get married. Obviously, she just wants to make money. That's what she wants. So she goes in there and gets naked and makes money.
I bet you there's a rich person at her stripper pole.
A rich person?
Yeah.
She didn't make $300. Well, maybe. I don't know.
She can marry that rich person. Won't last long, but she's probably just marrying to get money? Alimony and child support.
Well, I'm sure in Florida you probably have to be married like X amount of years.
2. It's Florida though, dude.
I mean, I'm telling you,
not to get political, but even Ron has left the railroad tracks, dude.
When children aspire to be strippers, there's a major. That's a problem.
Look at her mom.
That ain't a Florida problem. That's a society problem. I'm sorry.
It's a job out there. She aspired to be a stripper.
Well, now we're going to hop over to Mississippi.
Ew.
A Mississippi man killed his wife and their friends after they wouldn't let him drive home drunk from his wife's birthday party.
They didn't live together?
Who?
Oh, the wife got killed.
Yeah, he killed his wife and their 2 friends.
What a nice guy.
According to police, he became drunk and belligerent during the course of the event while they were all 4 hanging out. His wife, upset with the way her husband was acting, took away his keys to prevent him from driving home. When his keys were taken away, he got really angry, so he got his pistol from his truck, slapped the cigarette out of his wife's hand, and shot her. When his friends tried to intervene, he shot them as well.
Oh, it wasn't a car accident. It was just a psycho move.
Yeah.
Oh.
His friends tried to intervene, so he shot them as well, got his keys, and he left. He later returns to the house and acts as if he was shocked to find out his wife and friends had been murdered, not knowing that the other guest had hid upstairs protecting the 10-year-old child that was asleep and called the police.
Ooh,
He then gets into a fight with the officers and is arrested.
That's someone that has no value on life. That is a piece of shit.
I mean, now
That's what he is.
I mean,
a piece of shit.
That's triple murder. That's life, right? He's a lifer.
I
mean,
hope so.
even in Mississippi.
I don't know about Mississippi now.
Well, I mean, I know in Mississippi they'll let a lot of things slide.
So we're like 48th when it comes to education in Georgia?
Yeah. Mississippi is number 50. They're
Alabama. 51. They're behind a non-state, dude. They're behind the District
Puerto
of
Rico.
Columbia.
Puerto Rico.
Probably behind, yeah, probably 52.
The Virgin Islands.
Yeah, or Samoa.
Mississippi.
Or wherever that
we're
is.
We're 58th in America.
I mean, that guy's just an idiot. I mean, come on, dude. You kill he loves nothing but himself.
Oh, yeah. And all you want to do is drive home drunk.
Really? You kill 3 people over that?
They were saving you, dude. He might listen to this show. I mean, I don't know what they have to do in prison, but I couldn't imagine they have a lot to do in prison.
I think they have to put remember they had those little transistor radios? We're not on radio though.
Yeah, but I mean that was back in the day.
That has to go up someone's butt to get through. Security.
No,
I'm sure they put it in a Ziploc bag.
No, I mean they get they get more privileges now than they did back in the day.
Well, all I know about visiting prisoners is from TV.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it's changed a lot. I've seen Goodfellas. I mean, he's in there slicing onions real thin. That's the secret to making the sauce just right. I think
they had the warden on the payroll, and he just brought it straight ass in. Here's the eggplants for your eggplant parmesan. Here's fresh mozzarella.
How do we know a warden at a prison doesn't listen to our podcast and play it over the loudspeaker for every inmate in that prison? We don't know that.
If you're a warden out there, that is a fantastic idea.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, they love us or hate us, they'll have to listen to us, and they might hate us because they ain't us. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, they're anuses. And you know what? If we can convince someone in prison who is so used to murdering people to stop murdering people
and laugh.
Yeah. Find humor in life instead of killing in life. We've succeeded.
I mean, that's all we want. That's all we really truly want, is to make people laugh.
And not murder people. Don't murder people.
Don't worry. Be happy.
This a little song I wrote.
Man,
you ought to sing it with me note by note. Don't worry.
Be happy.
Don't worry.
Have you ever known anybody to not be happy while singing Bob Marley? I mean, seriously, a serious question. Think about this. Is it possible?
I don't think that's
to
Bob
sing
Marley,
Bob
though.
Marley. No, but I'm just saying.
No, it's not.
No, that's not.
No, that's not Bob Marley. But it's not possible to be angry listening to Bob Marley.
So you made me think of Bob Marley.
I don't care what genre of music you listen to Marley.
Yes. So me and my wife were talking about it the other day. Like, I was playing Bob Marley, and she come in and started singing it with me. And we were laughing. I said, is it possible to be unhappy while singing Bob Marley?
It's also amazing how many hits he had.
And it's amazing.
You're like, holy crap, I know all these songs.
I mean, you could put Bob Marley on at a metal concert, a country concert,
a bar mitzvah,
a rap show, a comedy event, at a bar, at a church, at a funeral, and people know the music.
See, if they would have played that at his wife's birthday party, she would have not murdered her.
Exactly. They should have played some Marley.
That's the problem here.
It's who shot the sheriff,
Yeah,
not my wife and her two friends.
right.
Well, in Mississippi, they do things different. So that's
Well,
all. We've
they
been through
have,
Mississippi.
they're an SEC conference team. University of Mississippi.
Did you say SC?
SEC.
First, I said STD, but
Well, they might be STD too, but they cheat and they don't win national championships. Isn't that stupid?
they cheat and suck.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
It's almost unheard of, except in the state. They have two teams that suck.
You're even allowed to pay your players now, and they can't win a championship.
Yeah, NASCAR is paying players in South Carolina and Alabama to support their sport.
Mm-hmm.
So they're paying into this. Maybe Mississippi don't have a racetrack. They need to get one.
Probably got dirt tracks. Didn't little 47 go there?
He's from Mississippi.
Steinbrenner? Isn't that his name? No, that's the owner of the Yankees.
You're talking about Steinberger.
Steinberger.
Or no.
Driving the
Stenfield.
Kroger car.
Steinfeld.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Stenhouse.
Steinfeld's only doing that because it's a hobby. He made like $1 billion off his comedy show in the 90s.
Seinfeld.
Steinfeld.
Steinberger.
47.
Stein Van Stuffenstager.
Yeah, I'm going to say something here because
here
it
we
just
go.
completely
We're getting
doesn't
canceled.
make sense to me.
Canceled.
Steinfeld is one of the biggest Porsche collectors in the world.
Okay.
Jewish. So,
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't know who Steinfeld is. So,
Jerry Seinfeld?
oh, I didn't watch the show. I mean, I know who he is.
Oh, you know what? You're probably too young. It's more my generation. It's an Xer thing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Might be a
remember.
boomer. I think he's a boomer.
I remember Kramer. Right? Was that the dude's name?
Kramer.
Weird
That's
dude.
kind of how like we act all day
Crackhead.
for weeks on end.
Yeah.
He was on no drugs.
Well, see that I remember him, and then
Elaine, you remember Elaine?
she was a curly haired lady.
And George, the short, dumpy guy,
Yeah, short, fat dude,
bald.
chunky.
Yeah.
And then Jerry.
Yeah, and then you had Friends.
I don't remember.
They lived.
My wife watched Friends, but I didn't watch
Friends lived in the building like 2 blocks away from Jerry.
Same show.
I don't think they followed each other on TV back in the day. Back when you watch, listen to this. I'm going to say something crazy. Back when you watch celestial television.
Is that from another planet?
That's like
Is that like a
cable and
UFO?
antenna. Cable and antenna. That's it.
I got a buddy who saw a UFO. Can we get him on the show?
Let's do it.
We'll get Mikey on the show.
Do you think if an alien came down here, he'd give us money to sponsor a NASCAR car so we could then gripe to the leaders directly?
You know, if we sponsor a car, we could get passes to get in there to complain. That's our new goal. 1 million subscribers. Sponsor a cup car. Complain to NASCAR.
Well,
That's it. That's our path. Our path to complaining to
we need a holding company instead of just a podcast. Should we call it COVID Media?
CV19 Media.
Yeah, CV19 Media Corp.
Well, we could open up other businesses under it too.
We could sell personalized masks.
Ooh, I like it. It looks like us.
There's still some people wearing masks by themselves driving down the road. Isn't that weird?
If they make me wear a mask again, I'm wearing the Michael Myers mask. Period. Nothing else to
I'm
it.
moving. I'm not doing it again. I'm not.
All right.
I'm not shutting down.
A man in North Carolina is blindsided and run over by a deer in a McDonald's parking lot while walking to his car with his wife.
You know, I believe that. There's a young buck in my front lawn that
Did he charge you?
last night we kind of had a stare off.
I've had one
He
where
wasn't going to back down.
I've had a deer in my yard where I called him like it was a dog, like, you know, come here.
I mean, he was
And
past.
the deer come to me and I had to back off.
Mama deer say that to him? He was past Buttonhead. He had little spikes coming out.
Be a spike.
Yeah,
Well, he don't know better yet. He ain't been hunting
he's a
real good.
teenager. He was like,
He ain't been hunting
"If
yet.
you old man."
You start shooting at him, he'll be like, oh, that's the guy.
Oh,
That's where that noise
crap.
is coming from. So this man in North Carolina said that him and his wife were walking out to their car with their Cokes when the deer collided with him, knocking him over.
That's their problem. They should have ordered Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I know. They got Cokes.
That's
I
like
mean,
Dr. Pepper. Prepper.
and it ain't even real Coke in North Carolina.
No, they got a weird.
Should have got a Sun Drop.
Yeah, that'd work. Mountain Dew.
Yeah, something like that. Something that comes from their home
That is like
turf.
Well, Pepsi is from North Carolina.
Well, he should have got a Pep. The deer was probably working for Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
So the man said he wasn't hurt, and he's just grateful the deer hit him rather than his wife. And I mean, he had a sense of humor about it.
Did he stand between his wife and the deer and protect her? Or
I don't. Well, he was blindsided.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He just happened to be in the right place.
He got
at the right
sucker
time.
punched by a deer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But he had a sense of humor about him because I mean, he laughed because he didn't even spill his Diet Coke.
You know, if he would have been raised by my father, he would have been blindsided.
He'd have been ready.
My dad says swivel.
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 Your dad, I could
swivel.
This is in my head. I picture this deer running across the parking lot.
My dad had strong neck muscles.
At your dad,
swiveling.
Running at your dad. Your dad grabbing the deer, putting it in a chokehold.
Might bite him,
choking it out, getting in the car and leaving.
He probably would have done 50 push-ups afterwards. Actually, if you look at me, I don't do. I don't do after a deer encounter do 50 push-ups.
Well, they went and looked for the deer, but it had gotten away.
So I think you're right. That deer is Pepsi deer.
I think it is. I think this is all a conspiracy by Pepsi Cola to take out the Coca-Cola drinkers in America.
They probably shouldn't be serving Coca-Cola in North Carolina.
Next state we're going to jump to is Ohio. You know, Ohio has.
I like Ohio.
Ohio has special people.
Well,
Ohio is like the Alabama of the North.
They are. Flat out.
Yeah.
They are.
And then Minnesota is like Mississippi.
Yeah, they call sophistication driving a Chevy Citation in Ohio.
I mean, that's where the dude in the Chevy Volt was pulling the pop-up camper.
Yep.
Made your Prius look bad. All right, so an Ohio woman is arrested after passing out and getting wedged in the passenger floorboard of a stranger's Volkswagen.
She couldn't get out, huh? That's too bad.
So Ohio police said they observed a gray Volkswagen with fogged up windows and a fresh rear bumper damage in the parking lot, so they went up to it to investigate. Honestly, if I see fogged up windows, I'm thinking there's something going on in that car. I'm not thinking passed out woman in the front seat, but
well, you wouldn't see her because her head was under the dash.
So police get to the car and they discover a woman lying on the front passenger side floorboard with her feet on the passenger seat and her head wedged under the dashboard.
That's just stupid.
After the woman didn't respond to the multiple knocks the police made on the window, the officers opened the car door and received quite a strong whiff of alcohol. Turns out the woman had gotten drunk, passed out in the vehicle, and it didn't belong to her.
Genius.
The owner said that they've known about the locks being broken on the vehicle for a while, but had had zero issues up until that point. The woman was arrested, and after they removed the front seat of the car to get her out, she was taken to jail.
She got her head under there. She couldn't get it back out?
I mean,
she probably had her feet up in the air and her weight just pushed her head up under the dash.
I'm thinking she got in the car backwards and had her back up against the dash and her head kind of on the dashboard and her butt kind of wavering in the air in between the seat and the dash. And she just kind of slipped down as she got drunk, passed out. She just slipped down farther and her head got up under the dash.
She's lucky that Kohlberger dude that murdered all those students in Idaho, driving home with his daddy to Pennsylvania, had to go through Ohio. She's lucky Kohlberger didn't find her.
She's very lucky. I mean, I've never been so drunk in my life that I ended up in a stranger's car, passed out, wedged between the floorboard and the dash. That's a whole nother level of drunk.
Well, I don't even know who owned the car. In college, someone had
this has happened to you.
It wasn't a bus, it was a Vanagon. It was water cooled, not air cooled. And we chopped the roof off, braced it, because when you chop the top off, frame isn't as...
Yeah.
So we braced it, and we put like 6 Recaro seats in it, and we drove around our college town
with
our giant topless Vanagon.
That's kind of cool.
Well, one day we were doing that, and things were happening. We woke up in a cornfield, and no one remembered how we got there.
That's a problem.
It happened to be in Delaware, which was like 2 hours from our campus. It also means we crossed the Chesapeake Bay Bridge.
Who was driving?
His name was Lawrence. I won't say his last name.
Was he drunk?
He was something. We were all a little drunk. But, you know, you always got that one idiot who says, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I ain't having 18 beers, but I spaced them out over 6 hours.
Well, we weren't smart enough to go, how many have you had? We just said, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah.
He hopped in there, and, you know, it was a stick shift. It took a little coordination. But we were deep in that cornfield in the Delmarva Peninsula. I mean,
aliens? You think? Maybe.
If we had a drone back then, we could have seen.
But yeah,
we could at least seen the
y'all
path.
didn't have phones.
No, we just kept going straight. So we ruined a lot of corn that day.
You seen the video online of I think it's like a Ferrari or a Lambo driving through a recently cut down cornfield. All the little mini corn stalks get caught up in the wheel and catch on fire.
Ooh.
And then they send like a minivan out to help.
That's someone with too much money.
Yeah. Well, the minivan coming out to help, same crap. Corn gets caught up under the motor, catches the minivan on fire.
Sounds like some crazy East European crap.
And I don't even want to start talking about our food. Like they used to, they made Roundup ready corn. They made corn that would not die if you put Roundup on it. That way they could spray the whole cornfield with Roundup, killing everything except the corn.
Isn't science awesome?
No. All that crap is now in your body.
I'm the grandchild of a chemical engineer.
Awesome. You know what that chemical engineer figured out? If you spray the same chemical in Roundup on wheat, it'll dry the wheat out, allowing you to harvest it right away versus waiting on it to dry out with nature and risking the chance of it molding.
Clone those puppies. I don't care.
So you're now eating Roundup.
I'm all for GMO
wheat.
Or whatever they call it.
No, it's not GMO.
I'm all for whatever.
That's poison.
Okay.
Google
the average age of a male dying in 1900.
Yeah, and
see where we're at now.
We're about the same.
You'd be about dead right now.
Keep eating that weed, I might be.
I'm on borrowed time in 1900. The FDA didn't even test your meats.
They didn't test your meat or beat it.
No.
It's horrible.
No meat beating.
No meat beating under the FDA. I don't believe that. Somebody at the FDA beats me.
I got it.
No, you don't.
Got to Google this.
What are you Googling anyway?
Oh my God. There's a tropical storm in Mexico.
All right, so.
Holy cow. Did you know that?
Yeah. It's
where we went on our championship cannonball run?
Tropical Storm Hillary, right?
It's getting whacked right now.
Isn't it called Hillary?
Yeah.
It's going to wipe out everybody's emails. Watch out. Hurricane coming through.
Just hers on her server at home.
So.
But we're not a political show.
Speaking of Cannonball Run, one of the other states we went through was Arizona. Beautiful state of Arizona.
Arizona,
the beautiful orange state of Arizona.
Arizona and New Mexico are the prettiest states we've seen. Except the rest area, it said beware of rattlesnakes. They're poisonous.
Or Deborah. She'll take you home and scalp you.
I can't remember anymore. Was she New Mexico or Arizona?
She was New Mexico.
Is this story about Deborah?
Nope, this one's about Arizona. So the police in Arizona issue a public service announcement warning against buying owls from strangers while you're on drugs. I couldn't even say that with a straight face, man.
Well, marijuana is recreationally approved there in Arizona.
This comes from a true story. So police have encouraged the public not to use methamphetamine, or you too may find yourself illegally purchasing a wild owl.
Why?
For $100 in the middle of the night from strangers at a local gas station.
I don't think...
Oh, man. I've never done meth, but apparently if you do too much meth, you'll end up at a gas station where you're buying a wild baby owl for $100 from a stranger.
Wow. Maybe you shouldn't do meth. Everyone out there that may listen doing meth, stop. Stop today.
Stop, because you might end up with a pet owl.
What could you buy in Georgia that's endangered?
Pet owl.
You think that guy's got a franchise? He's franchising his
I mean, if I'm
illegal pet.
if
pet
I'm
store.
running a pet store for the methamphetamine users of America, I'm gonna space it out. I'm not gonna be confined. I'm definitely moving over the line into New Mexico.
Oh, I would sell franchises.
I would be in New Mexico before I would. I bet you that's where his original location was.
That's where I learned about meth, was on that TV show
New Mexico.
in New Mexico.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
I don't remember ever on Breaking Bad anybody buying an owl.
Maybe they need to continue it. Jesse goes back to selling meth, and
Jesse's lost all his money and needs to get back.
Some dude just pops out of the desert with an owl.
Walt's son.
He's just sitting there staring at the sun tripping, and someone goes, "Hey,
Walt's son and Jesse get together.
Would you like to buy a barn owl?"
Passing meth on to the next generation. And Hank is selling barn owls now. He's no longer with the police department. He is now selling. What I think is hilarious, man, is police in Arizona issued a public service announcement.
Yeah, they didn't say stop doing meth.
No, they're warning against buying owls from strangers while you're on drugs.
Anything that you do in excess is bad for you.
Well, so officers
Too many M&Ms are bad for you.
Officers said they were conducting a traffic stop earlier in the week where they found a young owl in the passenger seat next to the driver. The man had apparently been doing meth for hours when the officers pulled the guy over. They asked him where he got the owl, and he said he just bought it at the gas station.
Can owls learn how to talk? Was it a talking owl? Dude, I said left, not right.
Ooh.
You probably heard it, even if the owl was not speaking.
Guy kept going, you, who, you, who, you, who. The driver was then booked on multiple counts, including aggravated DUI, possession of methamphetamine, possession, transport, and purchase of wildlife.
Hold it. Now, if his window was open...
He bought an owl, man. I cannot get past this.
If his windows were open, or if he had a convertible and the top was down, didn't that owl stay there on his own volition?
Yeah.
So...
He was strapped in.
Yeah.
He had a leash on it.
The owl needs to take some responsibility for this, too.
The owl couldn't fly away. The owl leashed down. He had him in an owl seat in the front.
But if he wasn't leashed down, they would have had him driving with an uncontrolled owl while moving.
It kind of reminds me of Hagrid buying the dragon on Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's funny. Hit it.
That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, there's nothing out in the woods.
What is that?
Nothing.
I mean, like I said, when your police have to issue a warning you against buying an owl while on drugs, there's a problem with that. I think it's funny, man. I really do.
They didn't warn anybody about meth.
No.
That's bad for you and addictive, and it causes big old pus plots on your face.
This is legit. The title of this article was Police in Arizona Issue a Public Service Announcement Warning Against Buying Owls from Strangers While You're on Drugs.
So what would you compare Arizona? Is that the Alabama of the Southwest or the Mississippi of the Southwest?
Arkansas.
Ooh.
Because part of Arkansas is really nice, and the other part's the septic tank.
Well, that's because it's below.
So it's like Arizona.
It's below the nice.
You have Flagstaff ski resorts, and then you have Phoenix,
which is a dumpster fire.
Even the racetrack there sucks.
Well, we're going to get to that in a little bit.
So let's jump across the pond. How about it, Jamie?
Hey, the bloody pond!
We're going to go across the bloody pond.
You got to go to the UK?
A UK woman fell out onto a busy highway from her car while hanging out of the passenger's window while filming a Snapchat video. Oi.
Oi. Oi!
Oi! According to the police, an unnamed woman was dangling out of the vehicle on the M25 motorway in South London filming a Snapchat video when she fell out of the window.
Genius.
It's brilliant.
Huh.
I mean, the woman was not seriously injured. She was taken to the hospital and released with minor scrapes and bruises. The police then explained to her the dangers of filming while hanging out of the window in a moving vehicle.
Your dog thought the oil was for...
Oi! Do you think after this woman fell out of the window that she actually needed the police to explain to her the dangers of hanging out of the window making a Snapchat video?
Probably not. Well, maybe she's that dumb.
Well, research has shown that the most deaths from selfies occur in India, followed by Russia, then the United States, then Pakistan. And most of them happen to men under the age of 30.
Well,
I mean, weren't we recently talking about a guy in India who was hanging off the edge of a building trying to take a selfie
I
and
think
he
it was
fell?
Malaysia, yeah. He's famous for his selfies on top of high buildings.
I would want to be famous for something else because that's a dangerous business. Selfie taking.
I guess you can make a living at it.
Apparently.
I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I should do more selfies and post them constantly on X.
Twitter.
Tweeter?
It's still Twitter to me. I'm thinking about getting the Twitter bird tattooed. Just a little blue bird.
I like the blue bird. I don't know why he killed the logo.
I don't want the blue bird to die, so I'm thinking about getting it tattooed. Maybe like on my elbow. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
You know,
Get Roadrunner on one side and the
the
Twitter bird on the other.
This is like the first time I've questioned Elon's sanity.
I mean,
Let's get a $40 billion investment and make it $20 billion real quick.
well, I mean that's just like owning a cup team. If you want to make a little
You
fortune,
can
start
ask
with a big
cousin of
fortune.
mine. Right there.
Yeah, Pharaoh.
Pharaoh Racing. And he only did the Bush series.
And
Lost tons of millions.
and went broke.
Went broke.
An Alabama police officer found himself arrested and fired for stealing Pokemon cards from a Walmart store. The officer stole Pokemon cards by opening multiple packs of cards and discreetly placing the individual cards in his pocket. Unfortunately for the officer, a Walmart loss prevention employee was standing right next to him and witnessed the theft in progress, setting up the stage to arrest him later.
Here's what's crazy. That sounds like to me a get out of jail for free card.
No, it's a Pokemon card.
Well, he can give me one of his Pokemons, his Pikachu.
Oh, you're saying the guy standing there?
No speeding tickets forever, dude.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about the loss prevention guy.
Ah,
No, this is a low-level police
this
officer.
is one dedicated Walmart employee. I didn't know they existed, to be honest. Must have been in Arkansas?
No, it's Alabama.
It's probably the highest paying job in his town.
Probably.
So he wanted to keep it.
He's a correctional officer. He's a police officer down at the prison. So at least now he gets to go hang out with his friends. Well, I doubt if you go to prison for stealing Pokemon cards. You just lose your
But
job.
he's
and pay a
probably
bunch
doing
of
flip
fines.
phones in his butt, and now he's asking someone to bring him a flip phone in their butt.
Well, now he might get killed because he's not able to smuggle drugs and flip phones in his butt.
You know, they got the jitterbug for old people.
You think he sticks his jitterbug in his butt?
Maybe we should design a more comfortable prison phone for you to bring it into jail.
Shaped like
So
that homeless tube.
It doesn't hurt you like that Hot Wheel car.
Comes.
Yeah.
I was reading a story about a dude who stuck a Hot Wheel car up his butt after watching the Jackass movie. Had to go to the hospital to have it removed because it turned sideways and tore a hole in his anal cavity. Yeah. Why would you stick a Hot Wheel? I don't care. I watched Jackass too, but it didn't make me want to go home and stick a Hot Wheel in my
Would
butt.
you tie like a string around a wheel?
Matter of fact, I've never watched any TV show that made me want to stick anything in my butt.
You know, if you can
Especially
contort
a Hot Wheel. Why would you stick?
if you can contort
I guess you tie a fishing line around
a
the.
Hot Wheel in your butt to make it sideways to where it hurts, why couldn't you just keep working those muscles and get it in the right direction?
I think the pointed edges of the Chrysler he had up his butt got caught.
I think it was a 300.
No, I think it was like an 83.
Oh, one of them old ones.
Square bodies.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show a picture of it in the article, thank God.
like Richard Petty drove when he couldn't win.
Oh,
A
so
Cordova.
this Alabama cop who stole the Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So when police confronted him, the dude takes off and flees on foot. He's later found at a local restaurant, otherwise known as a Waffle House, where he is arrested with the Pokemon cards still in his pockets.
So he's a cop. They probably knew who he was. Hey, it's George.
This is in a
George, come here.
We've been to this town.
Ugh.
This is near Talladega. This is near the racetrack.
Oh,
We probably met that officer. He was probably the guy who.
directed traffic and
No,
both
he was
go
probably the
wrong way?
guy when we were walking into the stands who patted you down and pulled you to the side and made you cough.
I know. I told him I didn't think that was reasonable.
Sir, I'm not smuggling anything in my sack. Please put it down.
he said, "You shave down there?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he took a finger and went around the corner, and I said, "No,
All
not
I know,
there."
we're walking in the track. I turn around. Jamie's over there coughing with his pants around his ankle with a security guard with a vest on that. He ain't really security. I mean, it's that photo.
I thought he was.
He had a photo vest on.
I thought he was a full-time physician volunteering for security on race day so we can see the race for free.
You thought you were getting a free colonoscopy.
That's what I thought.
Think, yeah, go ahead, prostate cancer, doc. Nope, thanks.
But when we got back from Talladega, when I went fetal in the bed and started crying for no apparent reason, I realized what had happened to me.
Well, I mean, maybe, just maybe, he was looking for a Hot Wheel car.
It could be.
He wanted to make sure you weren't one of those guys.
I'm more of a Matchbox guy.
Ooh.
And I would put an Audi TT up my butt because they're more aerodynamic. Or a Porsche.
Or blimp.
Not this Porsche. That would hurt.
Yeah, that Porsche's been wrecked.
Well, it looks like it went up
Dave wrecked it.
some anus.
It's been destroyed. All right, Ask Reddit. So I got 2 questions for us this week off Ask Reddit.
You know, is that Tyler Reddit?
Not Ask Reddit. Reddick. Red Dick.
See,
Man,
now
you're
confused.
messing me up. I'm as confused as you were confused after you got confused by what confused me.
I've been confused since before I was born.
I was born confused as well. It happens sometimes. All right, so what is your I put that crap on everything ingredient? For example, mine is pepper. I pretty much don't eat anything without adding pepper to it. So what is your I put that crap on everything ingredient?
I have this stuff that I bought in Miami. It's called citrus salt.
Citrus salt. That was one of the
It is
responses on
good.
Reddit.
It's got lemon and lime and salt.
I was going to put that. So some of the things other people said on Reddit was garlic, Old Bay, hot sauce, flakes of red chili pepper, smoked paprika, and MSG.
Paprika's a good one too, but that citrus salt, man, on some, if you make your own French fries, it's good.
Butter would be another one that people said as well. I mean, I put butter on not everything. I mean, I usually I'll add a little bit of salt sometimes, but I'm the kind of guy who puts pepper on his food, and when you move the plate, there's a ring of pepper on the table. But
I know some people that put cinnamon on freaking everything.
Ooh. My grandfather was the same way. I mean, my grandfather put pepper on his food until he sneezed. He knew he had enough pepper when he sneezed.
So basically, he had a runny nose by the end of dinner.
No, he didn't.
From all the pepper?
He sneezed once, and that was that.
Oh.
And I mean, when he sneezed, it was like it was a sneeze. Like everybody in the house heard him. Windows shook, stuff fell off shelves. I mean, shoot! That was his sneeze.
Makes sense.
But that was all that pepper, probably. All right, next question. What is the dumbest thing you have done that you ended up in the hospital or the doctor's office for?
I had a nail gun that I nailed my hand to a hardwood floor. That was pretty stupid.
What were you doing? Like laying floor?
It got jammed. Instead of taking the air hose off, I grabbed that safety piece that presses down, and I was sitting there going like that. And then I'm like, luckily I didn't shoot myself between the eyes because I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then I had to get a claw hammer.
Oh, man.
To get my hand out of the floor.
Oh. I screwed my finger to a I was screwing a plenum.
Well, that sucks. You got
to the coil. To the coil, and the whole furnace was up against the wall real tight. So I was able to hold the plenum up against the lip of the coil from the outside and screw the screw on the inside, took the door off of the coil, and was screwing the screw from the inside out because there was no way to get my drill on the outside. And as I did it, it went through my finger, and I had to back the screw out to get to this day, I still have a little spot on my finger right there.
Here's a question for you. I would have probably done it as fast as possible, but some people might have gone it slow.
Oh no, I went as fast. I just
just
but the faster
over.
Yeah. But see, I tried to pull my hand away, and it wouldn't pull away, and that scared the crap out of me. So, I mean, you've done it.
It sucks.
You've run a screw through your finger. I know you have.
And I got sheet metal scars too.
No, I'm covered in sheet metal scars all over my hands. I mean, it's just it comes with the business.
You don't get paid enough.
So going back to the dumbest thing I've done, the dumbest thing I think I've done that I ended up in the hospital for was one night I decided to pierce my lip right here on the side. So I took a safety pin and I pierced my lip. And as I was pulling it out of my lip, I took just a hoop earring that shaped like a U.
Yeah.
And I followed that back through the lip. Well, it wouldn't pop all the way through the lip. So you could see the tip of the little black hoop earring poking out of my lip. So my cousin grabs his pocket knife and just kind of taps my lip on the outside with the knife, popping the hoop all the way through. The problem was he had went fishing a few days prior to this and didn't clean this pocket knife before he used it to help me pierce my lip. The next day I wake up and I can't talk real good because the whole left side of my face is swelling up.
Because they said you were from Alabama, didn't they?
So that night,
talk like a Bama.
I mean, I thought it would just go away. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I thought it would swell and would go down. You know, I drank some peroxide, took some ibuprofen, went to bed. I woke my wife up in the middle of the night. I needed to go to the hospital. I had a fever of like 106. She was pregnant with our son. She didn't want to deal with me. I ended up having to call her mom. Her mom picked me up, took me to the hospital. They gave me one of those 7-day penicillin shots and sent me home. The nurse was laughing at me when I was trying, because at first I didn't want to tell her what I did. Then I had to just be honest. So she was laughing at me. The next day I had to go back to the doctor and get another 7-day penicillin shot because the infection was spreading throughout my face.
Oof.
I ended up sick for a whole week from that. To this day, I still have a lump in my lip from where I pierced it with a safety pin. So that's probably the dumbest thing I've done.
At least you didn't get a staph infection.
I mean, I probably should have. I was real close to it.
Penicillin probably saved that.
Yeah, I had 14 days worth of penicillin within 48 hours. All right, man, let's talk racing. Over the weekend, Landon Huffman holds off to win the $30,000 payday at Tri-County Speedway Saturday night in the Cars Tour Old North State Nationals. You had Queen and Honeycutt coming up short, both with fuel issues in the end of the race, leaving Landon and Quaffle to battle it out, where Huffman was able to stay ahead and get the victory. $30,000, man. That's a great payday for the Cars Tour. Great racing, too, man. I ended up watching the Cars Tour race, and then I watched the All-Star Circuit race, sprint racing over the weekend. They raced twice, I believe. There might have been an old one and a new one.
I watched the Outlaws.
Yeah, I mean,
cars on
phenomenal racing.
CBSN or whatever, CBS Sports Channel.
And if you don't have Dirt Vision yet, go download Dirt Vision. You literally can sign up for free. It costs you nothing. And you can't really watch anything live. They have some old races they play live you can watch, but you can watch races on there a few days later. If you haven't gotten a Dirt Vision account, it's free to sign up. They don't sponsor us, but it's great content. I love dirt racing, and sprint cars, wing sprint cars are by far my favorite form of racing.
Chains, dude.
In my opinion, that is the best form of racing in America right now.
Did you see where that girl in Ohio who races for Tony Stewart got shot in a road rage incident?
Horrible, man. She drives a midget for Stewart.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Good friend. I mean, I saw Tony Stewart post on social media about it. Heartbreaking. And if you have road rage problems, go get help. It's not that bad. I mean, my biggest issue with road rage is I'm a horn honker. Jamie will tell you.
He is.
I like to honk that horn, but trying not. You can't really honk the horn around here anymore because you get shot. So
that doesn't stop you.
I'm trying.
You're armed.
I'm getting better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am armed.
But every time I talk to you, in between me visiting my accounts and you visiting yours, I hear.
Well, look, my thing is, when you come over in my lane and I'm there, you obviously don't see me. So I want to honk the horn to notify you of what you're not seeing. Me. You're not seeing me, so I honk the horn so then you know I'm there. That's all. I'm not doing it to be rude. I'm not doing it to start a road rage incident. I'm doing it so you know I'm there because you obviously can't see me. Right?
Bless you. Yep. I guess.
Did you watch the Xfinity race?
I did. I actually found that way more entertaining than the Cup. Just, putting it out there.
I enjoy watching the Xfinity
us,
cars go around that road course.
Might keep us from getting a press pass one day, but I'm just being honest.
We might be able to get an Xfinity press pass.
Maybe that's what we ought to try for.
Just Xfinity
or
series
ARCA?
only?
Truck series?
No.
There's no one there.
Truck series, we could probably
could get in touch.
Our media passes for the truck series would just be from home, though. We'd have to do it from home.
Oh, they'll allow us to watch it on TV?
Yeah, you can watch Media Center
here's
from
your
home.
media pass.
Password.
House.
Here's your Media Center password so you can watch from home like Fox does. You just mail it in. Well, Ty Gibbs got pretty upset, apparently, at the end of the race there. Ty Gibbs led the majority of the Xfinity race, and Sam Mayer will-hopped, he says, and dumped Ty Gibbs.
I was sure hoping he was going to will hop because, Gibbs smacked him in the mouth, wouldn't take his helmet off like a little runt.
True. That's true. These two have run-ins
He
before.
owed it. He owed Ty.
Sam Mayer gets out of the car. They ask him what happened. He says he will hopped and got into Ty. He hates that for Ty. That's not how he wants to win a race. Then he goes in the media center during his interview and says he would make the exact same move to win the race again.
Good.
So he would will hop again is what he's saying. He would run in too hard, will hop, get into Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs gets out of the car and takes a few jabs at Sam himself, saying that they came into the racing scene at the same time. And he has like 13 wins, and Sam only has 2. Way to go, Sam, on number 2.
Yeah, and Ty, wow. You're not conceited.
Ty needs to humble himself.
He's not going to.
I know he's not going to. Every time I feel like Ty is humbling himself or doing better, he takes 13 steps back.
Why didn't he just say
like his granddad is the reason he's gotten the opportunity he's got?
Why didn't he just say he owed me? You know what? We're even now.
Yeah. Or
come on,
or
Ty.
Say nothing. Like, he says he doesn't race with his emotions. Well, he dang sure doesn't interview with his emotions because every time this guy speaks on TV, he makes an ass out of himself.
I mean, obviously his grandfather gave up, 3 wins to let Ty drive the car?
Yeah.
And somehow they found sponsorship for Ty.
Well, now they're struggling to find it for Denny.
I think
I saw
this is 2.0.
I saw somebody on Twitter.
It's going to happen again.
They said Denny is probably leaving Gibbs. This is their prediction. Denny leaves Gibbs, goes and drives the number 10 for Stewart-Haas Racing, moves 2311 to Ford.
Okay, works for me.
I don't think so. I don't think Stewart-Haas Racing will be with Ford next year.
I'm going to say he goes and drives the 10. It's a Chevy, and he goes to Chevy.
2311?
Yeah, because look, Motorcycle Club gave up being Chevy. Why not?
Dale Jr. said he would like to go run well in one of his cars. So why wouldn't Denny's in the prime of his career? He's got quality cars.
Well, you can probably pill
Why
off.
not go run a third charter for 2311?
Oh, I think Sorass is done.
Sorass has been done since Daytona 500 this year.
But I think Bubba's done too. I think
Bubba's got enough sponsorship money to keep him in the car.
And he's got McDonald's.
Bubba's definitely improved a little bit.
He's he's decent. He's, I don't know, top 20.
Out of the last 25 races, Bubba Wallace has had 4 top 5s and 6 top 10s. He's led 159 laps. I mean, that ain't great, but ain't nothing to shake a stick at either.
I think Denny's got the money to buy a third charter.
Maybe
if there's one available.
Maybe Joe Gibbs sells a charter to Denny Hamlin at 2311. He sells Denny's charter.
Don't you feel that Joe Gibbs is running out of money? I saw a chart.
I feel like Gibbs has run his course in the ownership. I feel like Gibbs is going to become Roush 2.0.
I can't credit the podcast or video channel, but it's a podcaster, an independent podcaster like us, not affiliated with NASCAR. He showed the budget of the top 10 He called them top tier teams.
Yeah.
RCR has a bigger budget for their 2 cars than Joe Gibbs has for 4.
I believe that.
Joe Gibbs has like $98 million for his 4 teams. RCR has like 110 for 2 cars. I mean, I think Joe's hurting. He sold a portion of his business to the new owners of the Commanders.
That's what I'm saying.
Or Commodore, what are they? I don't know.
Canadians.
The Redskins.
Canadians. No, Canadians with an M. It's what you get when you mix a Commander and a Canadian together, and you go woke, and you come up with the Canadians.
I'm okay with going woke with the name of the team, but to pick the stupidest name under the face of the earth.
I saw an article where there was some Native American people mad and wanting the name Redskins back. That could have been a joke on social media now that I think about it.
It could have been Elon bored.
You see where they're going to get rid of the ability to block people on Twitter?
Yeah, but it's kind of like
I think it's
friending
awesome.
me on Facebook. I don't even.
I think it's great that they're getting rid of the ability to block people. I mean, Brett Griffin's got so many trolls hitting him up now. That dude's probably blocked more people than he follows.
I requested a high school friend to be my friend
On Facebook?
Yeah.
He said no. It's okay.
And but
we
I don't know
love
if they said no. I don't know where to track those things.
You go into the notifications and it'll tell you if they requested
Then they asked me to be their friend. That mean they had second thoughts?
Yeah. Well, that means he thought it was your burner account, and then he realized it wasn't your burner account, so he accepted.
I'm not accepting it. Isn't that? It's kind of like Sam Mayer wrecking.
I think you should accept it. I mean, I think you
maybe
should
we can get another watcher.
You should be the bigger man here. Like, you be the
Maybe
adult.
I should click that button you talked about to see if.
Yeah, the notification button.
Yeah,
the bell. It looks like a bell, like a Taco Bell. But
back in the day when I did it, there was this girl. She was just like, first of all,
we don't need to hear this story. You're married now.
No, it's before I was even dating my wife.
Oh, okay. I guess
this girl became weirdly infatuated with me.
She had you on MySpace.
It was before even MySpace. I mean, we didn't even date.
What year did you and Jody get married?
94.
Okay, so y'all got married before computers.
No, we had a Apple Classic. Remember the little teen screen?
The green screen?
4 inches? No, it was taller, I think. It might have been green. I don't remember. But
I would have been in the 4th grade. I don't remember computers being around till like 6th grade.
This girl was in high school. She was weird. Like stocky weird. Because she was like stalking.
She was stalking you.
She would show up at places I was at that I didn't tell anybody I was going there.
Like school?
Or I told some people I was going there, but she wasn't friends with them, I guess. I don't know. So I accepted her friendship because I'm not a good Facebooker or social whatever.
On accident?
No, I did it on purpose, and then I waited a week and unfriended her.
Did she request it?
And then I started getting emails from her on my Gmail account.
Why you kick me out?
Why did you unfriend me? I was like, oh my God.
Oh, she's still stalking you.
Because of this?
43 years later, she's still stalking you.
Oh, no. This happened a long time ago.
43 years?
Like 2000s.
63 years ago.
When Facebook was real? Like 2000s?
That'd be late 2000s, because early 2000s I was in high school, and it was MySpace is what we had. And
that was early 2000s. I think like 2005 on, it was Facebook.
MySpace really didn't even get big. And when I was in high school, I think we had MySpace, but it really wasn't big. And it was only big for like a year. And then
they sold it out to some dumb company that bought them.
Facebook.
Was it?
I don't know. Remember when you sign up for MySpace, you had that one guy who was everybody's friend?
Yeah, he was the guy that created it.
I know, but what was his name?
Idiot.
I can't remember his name.
No, I think he cashed out. He's doing pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure he made bank. All right, William Byron wins the race yesterday. He also wins the pole. He wins stage 2. He led 66 laps of the 90 laps.
He's gonna win the championship, dude.
Dude, he has struggled the last 4 weeks, and all of a sudden he wins a race. I mean,
Hold it. Brain explosion. Denny goes and drives
For Hendrick?
for Bowman because Bowman's the only one without a championship after this year.
Well, Bowman's got an extended contract, so.
But Rick's got the money to say, look, man, we need to settle this. I don't want you driving anymore because you ain't got a championship. Denny ain't got one, but Denny's going to get one for me.
I think Denny either drives for Gibbs or 2311 next year. More likely 2311 is what I'm thinking.
I think Gibbs is using the same blueprint he used last year with Busch.
According to Racing Insights, at 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 44 seconds, yesterday's race was the quickest Cup race to run its scheduled distance since a 100-mile race at Hickory that took 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 25 seconds on August 28, 1971. Dude, yesterday's race sucked.
Dude, and there was no cautions at Indianapolis on the road course. It was way better than this race.
Indy, they was passing. I mean, Andy Lowley in a piece of crap Rick Ware car was holding up Hendrick cars. I mean, you could
He was doing that Ford Pinto.
In a subpar car, you could block top of the line cars that were twice as fast. I mean, I guarantee you these cars
We need to do like F1 or Indy. Give them 2 minutes of boost.
What we need to do is take every one of these next-gen cars down to the Texas Motor Speedway
And wreck 'em?
and light the whole dang place on
Figure
fire.
8.
I need screw that. Just light the dang things. You know what we need? We need to take all the cars, every single next-gen car, park it in the infield at Texas Motor Speedway. Then we need to call Bill Gates. He can get his direct energy weapon from space to come down, melt every one of the cars
It's not
in
in
the Texas
space
Motor
anymore.
Speedway.
He put it on Epstein Island.
Okay.
That's where it's sitting at now.
Well, he can go.
Or maybe that's headquarters.
That's probably Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
It's a laser beam.
Maybe he could buy NASCAR from the France family. Don't you think this is the France family's fault? They won't admit they've made mistakes.
Look,
The product
yes, it's the
sucks.
France family's fault. They will not admit this next gen car sucks, and it sucks bad. But they are so caught up on being F1 and bringing more and more money into this. It's all about money, money,
They
money.
can do
They
that.
could care less
They
what the
can
product.
still do that by having an exciting race.
But they're not. All they're worried about are TV packages and international deals, and let's
Maybe
go
we need
race
to
in other
offer
countries.
money to buy the podcast rights for ourselves. We give you $25, Mr. France. That's $25 more than you got. Can we do 25 a piece? Make it 50?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I would.
Payment plan.
I enjoy, like you said, the Xfinity race was better. When you watch the Xfinity cars are not made for road courses, so it looks like those drivers have to wheel the hell out of those cars to get them to go around that track. The Cup cars, it looks like slot car racing.
Boost it, man. Give
It's the
them some
most
boost.
boring crap I've seen. And we've had some horrible racing
We
this
got
season.
short tracks too, dude. They suck.
Yeah, I know. We've had some horrible, boring races this season.
And we're
but
going to a short track.
this one tops the cake. I can't wait till we go to Daytona. I cannot wait till the Daytona race because the last 2 weeks have just been brutal to watch. We need some really good racing. So Alan Gustafson can't count apparently, or his calculator was broke, or somebody else got fired this morning because the reserve fuel tank apparently does not hold 3 laps of gas.
Maybe it's not reserved.
When is it? Look, they go race at Atlanta.
Dude drove past pit road, and he says,
I'm out of good.
it's shuttered. Oh, keep going. Keep going.
No, but what I'm saying, we go to Atlanta, and they tell you whenever your car sputters, flip to the reserve, you got 1 lap.
Why would
How
you have
the heck
3?
do you have 3 laps at a 2.5 mile road
They're
course?
pumping gas in his roll cage.
Well, apparently not.
Yeah, because
You would have pumped more gas in
math
there
was
than
wrong.
a cup.
maybe they weren't doing meth. They were doing meth.
No
That
math.
sounded the same.
No math.
No math. It was meth.
No math. We do math over here at Hendrick Motorsports. Look, Chase Elliott's had a
He's
crap
done.
year. He's had a crap
He's done, dude.
year.
He's done.
All right, let's make it simple.
He doesn't. I'm going to say he does not finish Daytona. He gets wrecked.
No way.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Let's make it simple. Yes or no? And tell me why. Does Chase Elliott make the playoffs?
No.
Why?
His head's not in the game. Neither is his crew's.
I don't think he makes it either. They're going to Daytona. Chase Elliott said going to Daytona needing to win is like going to Las Vegas needing to hit the jackpot.
To pay your electric bill.
Chase Elliott is probably not going to make it out of Daytona. I'm with you. I don't think Chase Elliott finishes Daytona. Let's see, where did he finish at last year?
If he doesn't qualify top 4, he's getting wrecked. I mean, that's what I'm going to say. My asterisk is, if he doesn't qualify top 4, he's getting wrecked.
He finished 29th at the Coke 400 last year in an accident on lap 137.
Stick a fork in him. He's a baked potato.
There's no way.
He's done.
I don't think Chase makes the playoffs. He's missed 6 races for a broken leg that he got while snowboarding. He missed a race for having a temper tantrum, getting suspended. Out of the 18 races he's been in, he's had 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 0 poles. Dude, he's only led 39 laps this season.
He
Chase
can't buy a win.
He don't care.
With Rick Hendrick's money.
He doesn't care this season. I mean, this season has made me, honestly, not like Chase Elliott as a driver.
No, I'm with you.
I've just, he's straight up Cody Wared it, man.
He has.
Horrible. So
he's got a bad attitude.
Neither one of us thinks I think it's embarrassing that he ran out of gas and he's the only team that ran out of gas.
Needs to have a heart-to-heart with him. I don't think that's really Chase. I don't know what's wrong with him this year.
Dude, I don't know.
Somebody's playing with his mind.
You think it's that girl, that South Carolina gymnast he's been
It could be.
seen with?
Something is messing with his mind. He's not in the game.
She's got him all playing head games.
And I think his interviews have gotten worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Actually, I agree 100%.
He needs a bumper sticker on his Napa car that says,
whatever. Whatever, man. I don't care. I don't care, man. Whatever.
I want to go snowboarding again.
After this weekend, Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski are now locked into the playoffs on points, leaving 1 spot left. Bubba Wallace is in that spot in 16th, 32 points to the good. So, Jamie, does Bubba Wallace make it into the playoffs, or do we see a new driver win at Daytona, knocking Bubba out?
Bubba's good at super speedways.
I think Bubba wins.
I think he could.
I don't know that I'm going to take him in our fantasy
I'm not
points.
going to take him, but he has a better chance than our homie
Chase
Elliott.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bubba Wallace.
I think he's got a better chance.
I think Bubba Wallace wins. So Jeff Gluck's poll. Yes, 37% of the people said yes, Watkins Glen was a good race. 63% said no. I voted no. If Jamie would have voted, he probably would have voted no as well. It just sucked, man.
No, I vote no.
So Jamie's now voted no. You heard it here first before Jeff Gluck heard it even.
No, it's a big no. I mean, come on, dude. I got bored in the race and went and monked around with a car.
Yeah, I mean, Bubble, like I said,
when it was 105, feels like 105. I decided to sweat my ass off.
Ty Gibbs is in 17th, 32 points behind 16th.
Nah.
I don't think Ty Gibbs gets in on. I don't think anybody gets in on points. I think the winner of Daytona is going to be your 16th guy in. And I think it's going to be Bubba Wallace. I mean, honestly, dude, it could be Ty Gibbs. You got Daniel Soras is in 18th, 43 points behind Bubba.
So if he wins, he bumps Brad, right?
No. Whoever wins makes it in.
No, what I'm saying, Bubba. There's 2 guys in the top 16.
They're locked in. If Bubba wins, he just makes it in.
Oh, yeah, because 16.
Yeah, everybody above this line is locked in.
I'm doing math like Chase Elliott's team.
Dude, I tried to do it where you didn't have to do math. I put spaces and stuff.
Well, math is like meth to me.
Like meth.
You've
never done it?
Me. Yeah.
You've never
done either one.
Never been good at either. Math or meth.
Nope.
All right, Jamie, if we were going to go to Daytona, where would we not want to stay?
Well, this is actually the hotel we hate because we stayed there for an hour.
We almost stayed there. Well,
we stayed there for an hour.
I don't know how almost.
I don't think it was even an hour.
No.
20 minutes, went and got hamburgers, came back and said, we're out of here.
The smell was god-awful bad.
But we're not going to name it this time?
The Crack House Inn.
No.
Crack Shack Inn.
Oh.
It was the worst smell in the world. Like, it was our Tochi's Charlotte hotel was nothing compared to Beach House. I mean, that was like
heaven.
Ass cheese.
Yeah.
We had a crackhead asleep behind the window.
We didn't have stains on our stuff up at the Radisson in Charlotte.
No, but there were stains everywhere. Dude, there was literally
on the lampshade. What the heck's going on in there?
How you get feces on the lampshade? But they did it. They did it. They got feces on the. If there's one thing you don't want to see when you walk into a hotel room, that's feces on a lampshade. But if you go to the Crack House Inn in Daytona Beach, Florida, you're going to find exactly that.
Well, this
feces
is
on the
Crack House
lampshade.
Inn, and this will explain how shite got on the floor. Anyway.
We should have read this before we rented the hotel.
This was written after we were there.
I know, but there was worse.
We should have gone deeper into the reviews.
Well, we didn't know. That's when the reviews started.
Well, this one calls it out. This one calls it out.
Call it out
for what it is. Well, first they say, beware, beware, beware.
Beware, beware, beware.
Don't do it.
No.
The dirtiest, most uninhabitable room I have ever booked.
Agreed.
Embedded stains. That means probably got washed and still didn't come out, right?
Nope, that crap wasn't coming out.
On the bedding and loaded with rust and mold in every corner. Big dog poop stain on the carpet in my room. Ask me how. I know.
How you know?
There was a dog in my room.
Oh my God.
WTF. That's the first one.
I've never
had an abandoned dog in a room.
Hey, you get a stray, with every room comes a stray. It's probably Gold Gym Glove Lady's dog.
He even saw him drop the stain.
Oh man.
We opened the door to the room and saw a pit bull running with his front legs, with his back legs down, dragging his butt on the carpet. We told the weird tiny lady with weightlifting gloves on, oh, we know her.
We know this lady.
Yeah. I told her through her little hole in the glass.
We know this little hole in the glass.
She just screamed to me, no dogs allowed.
It's her dog.
It's not his. We went back to our room trying to figure out what to do. Yes, the dog was still there.
These aren't big rooms.
No.
And they're in there with a pit bull. They don't know that's dangerous.
I hope they left the air conditioner on. It can get pretty hot in Daytona.
Well, we know the heater don't work because it was pretty cold when we were there.
That's true. And it was 23 degrees outside, though.
That was miserable.
The smell was so horrible it burned.
Yep.
Tried to get a refund, but constantly got no response from the manager.
Yep.
That can authorize one. I was only going to write a review as a last resort, but I'm glad I am to hopefully prevent someone from making the same mistake we did. Pay no attention to the hotel photos, as they are in no way accurate. The multi-level hotel in the photos is a Holiday Inn, where we ended up staying. We were at, what was it, Quality? Yeah.
No, we stayed at
Tiki-Taki Lounge.
Tiki-Taki Lounge.
Whatever franchise owns them.
Best Western.
Best Western?
Yeah. Don't say the house here. The name.
No, that's where we stayed.
Yeah, but don't say
We had a good experience.
But it's about to say the name of the hotel. I didn't want you to read it.
I think I said Holiday Inn, didn't I?
Well, Holiday Inn's okay because this is not the Holiday Inn review we're reading.
It is not.
It's for the next name that you're going to skip. Maybe. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I see it now. We're skipping that sentence because it mentions the Crack House Inn.
Yes.
I would not stay here if it were free. No exaggeration.
I wouldn't either.
This place was so disgusting. We didn't even want to set our luggage down.
I agree.
We made the mistake of sitting down on the bed to fill it. It was a rock-hard mattress, like the ones in a prison cell. Actually, in prison, it would have been downgraded for the inmates. My girlfriend got itchy, almost flea-like, as soon as she touched the bed.
It don't happen like that. That's all in your mind.
Speaking of prison cell, yeah, we didn't catch any bed bugs in our 20 minutes in there going, oh my goodness, this hotel sucks. That's basically what we did in the room.
Pretty much.
This is exactly what both rooms we were offered resembled. Their pictures don't show you the dirty white cement block walls with a tiny window in the bathroom that has a zero view of anything but a parking garage. Is that what they did in the vacant building that we saw out the window? Put a garage?
Yeah.
Where
the crackhead was sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, good. They did something with that lot at least.
If you should make this mistake, good luck. There's no management that can do anything about it. Either that, or they just want to rely on payments for people not staying.
Yeah.
What they are using the collected money on, nobody knows. It's that bad.
Probably
yeah,
meth.
I agree. Because
they look.
She
looked like a meth user.
Muscle lady wears that just to lift up her meth?
Yes.
I have never been inclined to write a view like this, ever. We kept the dog BTW.
By the way.
We call him Beach House. That's the dog's name.
That's a cool name
Yeah.
for a dog.
He's a mess, but unlike the beach house, we like him. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
They're also.
I wouldn't have kept the dog. Like, what if that's a stranger's dog who wanted their dog?
Dude, that stranger checked. This is how nasty the hotel is. That stranger checked out, left his dog in there. They never sent a cleaner to clean the room, and the dog's running around with front legs, dragging his butt on carpet, putting poo-poo stains.
Who has the name Slutty Lemon? That's not even a good stripper. If you were going to be a stripper, Slutty Lemon would not even be a good stripper name.
I don't know. This was Travelocity.
Slutty Lemon.
Which is not the same place we stayed. It's a different hotel.
That's part of the show
I
name this
Googled it.
week.
Slutty Lemon?
Slutty Lemon.
What is a Slutty Lemon?
I'm hoping you're
A
about to tell
lemon
me.
that everybody
I
puts
hope
their
you're
lips
about to.
on?
I hope you're about to tell me.
It doesn't really. I mean, I'm not even. Dude, I thought Slutty Lemon was a woman, but as I read this, you'll realize it's not a woman.
Hmm.
Does that mean he's a sour dick?
Maybe.
Do not stay here. That's what he said. He did it with 2 exclamation signs. Do not stay here.
Well, actually, it's do
Not
stay here.
Yeah. Rooms are old, stinky, and way outdated. Major safety concerns with belligerent guests in the parking lot, fighting amongst themselves all over my car.
That comes standard with crappy
Everything.
hotels in
Yeah.
Daytona.
Pretty much, because they can afford it. $10 more and they can't.
Yep.
They're paying with pennies from their center console.
I said quarters.
My car was scratched all to pieces, and it took the police 2 hours to arrive to try to detain the drunk family that was causing so many problems. They're probably from Mississippi.
Probably. Oh no, he would probably from Alabama, Mississippi. He would have shot him, and moved on.
I did not feel safe at all in this location. Within 5 hours of checking in, we checked out and found a different place to stay. I do not recommend staying here.
Agreed.
Nice work, clues are in.
Clues are in.
My wife was mad and I didn't get laid. Oh, that right
Oh.
there puts them at a new level.
Bad review for sure.
Dude.
When it's your
Dude.
fault,
Oh, he must
Yep.
have made the reservation.
he won't do that again.
While the woman who was working the front desk was extremely nice, I felt so bad for her because she was alone and trying to deal with drunk people who were punching people, destroying property, cussing, screaming, etc. No one should be in there working alone. She was afraid to approach the man to make him leave, but it took the cops 2 hours to come and remove the man. Yeah, you're repeating yourself, buddy. That's probably because he didn't get laid.
Yep. He's
He
so
is-
angry right now.
Oh, yeah. He is livid.
He could be the angry drunk.
Anything could have happened in those 2 hours, and that poor girl was left to deal with it all by herself with no other staff to assist or witness anything that was going on. Oh, yeah. Did I mention I didn't get laid?
I mean, you did.
You did.
Sir. 2 hours for the cops to get there, and you didn't get
You
laid.
didn't get laid. His wife was probably stewing up in the hotel room.
She's probably writing a review too, going, I didn't get laid.
Pathetic place to stay with no concern for the safety of their guests or staff. We have a 4-year-old boy and twin girls who are 2 years old.
Well, how the heck were you going to get laid anyway, bucko?
Hold it. We had dropped them off at my mother's in Georgia. Oh, this was a get laid, we have too many kids vacation. It was a sexcation.
Yeah,
Sexcation.
and he still didn't get laid.
Unless you lived it, you don't know. I've had kids. Not 3, 2.
I have 3.
I understand.
I have twin girls. I have twin girls and a son.
I understand completely, dude.
My
I feel
kids are-
for you.
The only difference here is his twin girl. He has a 4-year-old boy and twin girls there too. So my son would have been 5 when my girls were 2. So I have twin girls as well.
Getting laid doesn't happen like it used to. No, it does not.
I wouldn't have wrote a whole review about it, but agreed.
I really hate this motel. It sounds like it ruined the whole weekend.
I mean, if a hotel room ruined that trip, yeah, I would be pretty mad. That was a pretty tame review.
Well, you know-
honestly, in my opinion, for a hotel that kind of like took away his sexcation,
I mean, think about it. When you have
ruined his
kids,
weekend.
you don't have kids. You're dreaming. You and your spouse are dreaming and fantasizing about your sexcation. And then you stay at this crappy,
When they take it
Hotel?
away from you, the hotel.
and your name is Slutty Lemon, and you take the get laid away. It's gone.
I think he used his wife's account.
Oh, could be.
I don't know. Neither one of them really sounded like a slutty lemon.
No, they sound very intelligent.
But then again, he talks about getting laid a lot, so maybe he wants to get slutty with his wife that weekend, and instead he gets sour like a lemon. That's what it is.
See,
they went to Florida to get slutty together.
Oh, he doesn't like doing
reviews.
This is what he named himself when he wanted to do a review. He didn't have an account.
Well,
so he had to call himself Slutty Lemon.
If you think about it, it describes their vacation. They left Georgia heading to Florida.
And they grow citrus in Florida.
Well, they left Georgia heading for Florida to be slutty together. Instead, they get a crappy motel, and what do they get to do together? They get to be sour together like a lemon. Slutty lemon.
Yeah.
That explains the whole. This was the slutty lemon vacation forever.
They brought the blindfolds and the handcuffs.
Forever, this will be
and nothing happened, dude.
Vacation. And
I put myself in his shoes, remembering when I was like 29.
He didn't have any kids when he came home from this one.
My wife and I dropped the kids off at my mom and dad's house and we went to Tampa.
Did you see the stripper?
No, we didn't go to a strip club.
Oh, okay.
But
you said Tampa.
Imagine, we actually went to see a poet.
That sounds very boring.
A poet and a musician, and one would read a poem and the other would play a very famous musician. I can't remember their name though. They were folk. But
this sounds horrible.
It was actually a great show.
A poet, and was the poet also a musician?
No, it was whatever you call. He was a poet laureate. I don't know. My wife picked it.
Y'all are too educated.
She's much more refined than me.
Obvious. She's more refined than both of us put together.
And what's crazy is this musician grew up in the same town I grew up in D.C. But her name.
You can't remember it?
Escapes me.
Is it Sarah McLachlan?
No.
Was that
this lady? She's done like 100 million albums. If I could come up with her name.
Jewel?
No. She didn't weird out and get woke. This one.
Alanis Morissette?
Nah. Folk singer.
That's all I know.
I'll have her name next week.
Okay. Because I'm lost at this one. I have no idea.
Well, it's not something I would have picked either.
Hellstorm.
But I got laid. So,
Hey, you know what? That's all it really matters.
I got laid.
That's better than
Slutty Lemon.
That's better than Slutty Lemon can say.
And look, if he drove from Georgia, more than likely he lives in Atlanta. That was a long drive to get laid.
6 hours at least.
Yeah.
6 to 7 hours.
He was sour.
We've made the drive quite a bit.
Yeah, he was sour, I'm telling you.
All right, next weekend we are racing on Saturday night at 7 p.m. on NBC.
That's going to be a long race.
It's going to be a Daytona race, man. I love Daytona at night. It's a beautiful track to watch at night. I'm hoping.
But this car hasn't been that exciting lately at Daytona or Talladega.
Last year's Daytona was exciting, so I'm hoping this year's Daytona is exciting as well.
At least it's more narrow.
Daytona is a 2.5-mile oval. The top 10 here. Last year, I'm going to read the top 10. I didn't do average finish here because, frankly, they were all pretty bad. Like 37th place average finish, 42nd place average finish. So your top 10, you had Austin Dillon won the race when teammate Tyler Reddick blocked for him with a much, much, much damaged car. Austin Cindric finished third. Landon Castle fourth. Noah Gregson finished fifth. Cody Ware, B.J. McLeod, Martin Truex, David Reagan, and Kyle Busch. Ricky Stenhouse won the Daytona 500 earlier this year, and Kyle Busch won Talladega. The Coke 400 last year was the race where NASCAR crapped the bed and forgot to put the caution out when it started raining in the parking lot, allowing the cars to get all the way to turn one in a monsoon and wreck half the field. The race had a ton of cautions early and often. This race was rained out on Saturday night, and they ended up running it Sunday morning.
Well, what are you going to pick, dude? Where are we standing at now?
So, we do fantasy picks. We pick 3 drivers each week. Remember, the lower score is the better score. So, 1 point for first place, 38 points for 38th place, so forth. Last week, I had Elliott, Busher, and Kyle Busch for a total of 53 points. Thank you, Chase Elliott. I really appreciate you screwing me over time and time again on my fantasy picks. You and Alan Gustafson are awesome, baby. Jamie had Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Joey Logano for a total of 38 points.
Larson tried to screw me, dude. I'm telling you.
Well, when I pick somebody like Chase Elliott, you just know you're going to win. I mean, you've literally won the last 6 weeks in a row. So I get to pick first. Overall score is 1,118 and 1,008. So I'm
110 to the good.
Yeah. And what's bad is I was 100 points to the good like 6 weeks ago. All right. My picks, top 10 pick. Man, I'm really torn between the first two finishers. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin.
I think this is a chance to get a championship this year.
I'm not going to say
that.
It'll
be next year.
Every time I think it is, he don't. I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski.
He's good there.
I'm only picking Brad.
And you share a first name with him.
Yeah, I know. You know, me and Eric, one of our listeners, we debate this a lot. He's not a Brad Keselowski fan. He's a Matt Kenseth fan.
Oh, I thought he was going to be an Eric Almirola fan. Since
No.
His name's Eric.
No, he's a Matt Kenseth fan.
That's kind of, well, he must like SHR.
I mean, I like Brad. Brad drove for Junior Motorsports.
I like Brad.
I'm named Brad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a requirement, I think.
That's why I like Jamie McMurray when he drove. Same name.
Dang, Cody Ware's not racing, is he? I really want to pick him. Michael McDowell.
He is good at the super speedways.
Yep. Well, I mean, Larson's down there in that 21 to 36 bracket, but Larson has only had one decent finish in his career at a super speedway. So, Jamie, who you got? I got Denny, Brad Keselowski, and Michael McDowell.
I'm going Martin.
Mark Martin, okay.
Martin Truex.
You go with Mark Martin.
Viagra car for getting late at a Daytona hotel.
If you go with Mark Martin, I might actually have a chance. See, I picked Denny because Denny and Truex are in a pretty tight battle right now for the regular season's championship. So it's only fitting that you pick Truex.
And after our conversation, I'm picking Bubba.
Ooh. I set you up for that one. I really don't think he's going to win.
Well, I think he is.
I do.
And
I think he'll run good.
I don't think I'm going to get screwed 2 weeks in a row. Kyle Larson.
Wow.
I don't think he's very good at super speedways either.
I don't either. All right, I've got Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and Michael McDowell are my picks for Daytona. And Jamie's got Martin Truex Jr., Bubba Wallace, and Kyle Larson. You sure you don't want to go with Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace? I mean, I'll let you change.
Rusty Wallace is too old for even me.
We have an autographed picture right here of Rusty Wallace when he drove
the
Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac.
The car's not even made anymore. It's disappeared.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, though. What else we got? There's Mark Martin. You sure you don't want to pick him?
I like Mark Martin.
Who's that? Dale Jarrett right there. There's we also have Rusty Wallace and the Kodiak.
Look at that hauler.
Harry Gant.
Look at that hauler. Boy.
You can barely fit one car in that hauler.
Wow.
If you can see it, it's there. All right, that's all I got this week, Jamie. You got anything else before we close it?
Well, if you're road raging, hitting your spouse, your children, get help.
You got the number again?
No.
Get help. There's a number.
Listen to last week's episode. There's a number there.
If you're beating your wife, go back and listen to episode 73.
Or move to Arizona.
You know, in Arizona, you can beat your wife, but what you can't do in Arizona is buy an owl while high on methamphetamines.
I didn't know meth was legal for recreational.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Only in Arizona, apparently, in New Mexico. Well, that's all I got this week. Thanks to everybody who listens, watches, shares the show on social media. We greatly appreciate you. Deb, again, we thank you for listening every week.
This is your show, Deb.
It's for you. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like this video if you're watching it. Check us out on Spotify. Make sure you rate us there. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review like Brandon did. You can DM us or you can email us. Our email address for all you smart people out there is racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com.
And Brad has a password.
Jamie forgot the password.
I didn't write it down.
Make sure you go to our website and check out our merch store. It's racecarbackwards.com or racecarbackwards.threadless.com. You can find all of our stickers there. Other than that, that's really all I got this week. Y'all have a great week, and we will catch you here in a few weeks. Next week, we're taking off, so we'll talk to y'all 2 weeks. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Adios!